Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and before I get going, I want to remind you to go check out Clinton Donnelly at Crypto Tax Audit, because he is the crypto tax fixer, and he does have these memberships where you can protect yourself from an IRS audit. And you need to check that out. This guy specializes in crypto. There will be a link to this at the top of the description of this video. Now, moving along. Here's Jim Cramer telling you that you can make what I think he says 30 or 40% on Ethereum. Just know, folks, when you hear this guy talking about it, watch out, because it means him and all his buddies have already parked their money in it.
Now, this is like, we're talking money, so it's okay to say, hey, listen, made money. But I think Ethereum is terrific. I'm a believer, and I think that you could easily get 35, 40%. Now,
I mean, come on. And I'm not saying you can't get 30 to 40%. What I'm saying is these people, these are the same people who haven't covered the Jay Clayton and all that at all. Not only have they not covered it, but they added him as a contributor in the middle of all this, folks. These people can't be trusted is what I'm saying to you, period. Now, speaking of people that can't be trusted, I found this clip. This is Valerie, I had played some clips in the past of Valerie Chapinick from the SEC and all these people at the SEC describing how you can come in and see us and we're going to work with you and all that. But I had not shown any of those clips after I knew how the people at Library and Jeremy Kaufman from Library, now that I know how they were treated, I just wanted to show the clip and ask them, this sounds like a great experience. Is this how you were treated? Here's the clip.
And also setting up, you can call it a hub. We didn't call it a hub, but we called it a fintech mailbox, because that's what it is. It's fintech at sec.gov. And we've invited people to write to us and ask for meetings or just give us information, come and talk to us. So, kind of if you want regulators to embrace innovation, then innovators should embrace the regulators, right? So come talk to us. It's kind of an informal thing, but it's been going well. People have been coming in and talking to us. And really the purpose of it from our perspective is not only to gather information and communicate with the folks that we regulate, but also to tell people what our regulations are, give them guidance and point them in the right direction, or have them think about something they may not be thinking about.
Okay, so I asked Library and Jeremy Kaufman, I said, this sounds like an awesome experience. Was this your experience is basically what I asked him, and he says, a complete and utter lie. These people are evil. Do not trust them. So he's basically saying the SEC is evil, which I agree with. But I also think that it's more simple than that. I think that these people have, instead of a government organization, they've become an arm of the people that run Wall Street. And I think that's their only function now. That and to impose fines to make themselves more powerful. Okay? And he has experienced it firsthand. Now, yesterday, James Phelan put out this tweet. This was good news about the SEC versus Ripple. Judge Torres modifies proposed calendar motions to exclude expert testimony. Must be fully briefed by August 30th, 2022. Motions for summary judgment must be fully briefed by November 15th. Jeremy Hogan deciphers this for us. Oh, that's a pleasant surprise. Judge Torres has, however you say that, sua sponte, fancy Latin for because she wants to and can, moved up the schedule for summary judgment briefs to November 15th. What do I take from that? She wants Ripple versus SEC case over before Christmas. That is what I think she's saying, or what he thinks she's saying. And then he replied to somebody and says, most likely time for a settlement of any case is in between the end of discovery and the filing of dispositive motions. In our case, that is basically any time from now until September 13th. That's the digital asset investor. This is where I fall down. I think something is going to be worked out, because I don't think I don't think the SEC at this point can afford anybody making a decision on this that might put them in a position where they're exposed. I think they've got too many things to hide, and I think that they need to come to some type of an agreement with Ripple on this thing. I think this thing ends before, that's my prediction, but I'm not an attorney. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Now, this was a big tweet yesterday where Stefan Huber had tied together JP Morgan, Alibaba, and Swift, okay? And there were some replies that were interesting that I don't think I had ever seen these. This Cowboy Crypto had shown some pictures of Bill Hinman. This is how close Bill Hinman was with Jack Ma of Alibaba. So obviously he was very involved in their IPO. And here's another picture right here where he's standing there, and I'll show you something else in a second, but look at this. This is him standing right behind Jack Ma. And so Bill Hinman was obviously the main guy that made this IPO happen. I mean, from a legal standpoint, he's obviously the guy that headed this thing up. And I think that Stefan Huber is majorly over the target here. Now, what I did, and I'm getting to it, I'll get to it in 1 second. Let me see if I've got everything out of line here. If you look at that Alibaba stuff, and basically if you piece it all together, there's a lot of these things are involved, but one of the things is the MoneyGram deal with Ripple, and I'm going to show you that timeline here in a second. See, the meeting with Jay Clayton, this is when Ripple met with Jay Clayton, and Bill Hinman was there too, and they met with Brad Garlinghouse. A Howey note was written on whether XRP was a security 2 months before the meeting. Clayton and Hinman did not tell Garlinghouse that memo concluded XRP is a security. Why? Because it clearly didn't. But he's retweeting this from Stefan Huber. Remember how Clayton wouldn't talk to Ripple and Garlinghouse about the securities issue? Instead wanted to talk about the technology and their business. These are his words: crass economic espionage for JP Morgan, Alibaba, Swift, and China. Unbelievable. This is from a U.S. government agency. Here's what he said, what was said. He then asked Garlinghouse to back up from that issue and steer the meeting back to a discussion about Ripple's business and technology. Okay, now let's go back. This is the timeline. 2014, Bill Hinman and Jay Clayton worked on the Alibaba IPO. 2016, SEC investigation into Alibaba. 2017, Hinman and Clayton lead the SEC. 2017, U.S. denies Alibaba deal to buy MoneyGram. 2018, Hinman Ethereum free pass speech. 2019, Ripple announces partnership with MoneyGram. 2019, Hinman launches SEC investigation into Ripple. 2020, Clayton files lawsuit against Ripple. Clayton and Hinman leave the SEC. All right. Now, here's the little video I put together so you can kind of see some of this come together in your mind.
We're ready to launch the roadshow on Monday.
So what you saw there, they're about to launch the roadshow to go to IPO, and you see a sign for Simpson Thacher, and this is apparently their offices, because Simpson Thacher is the firm that's helping them get the roadshow ready. Hence, that's Bill Hinman. He's the guy behind the whole thing.
So let's kick off.
This is the schedule again. We're at Hong Kong, right, Joe? On the holiday.
So we're asking people to come to break their holiday into two.
Then we end up in London, and then we fly back to this thing.
So you go for its IPO. Could be the biggest IPO ever.
Now this is interesting too. This was just a random thing I bumped into, because this is Corey Johnson, who worked at Bloomberg, and he's reporting in I guess this is 2014. He's reporting on the Alibaba IPO, and then later he becomes the spokesperson for Ripple I think it was around 2018-19 is when he was Ripple's spokesman. I just thought that was ironic here.
What kind of market cap it generates?
See if you recognize anybody. There, that's Bill Hinman. There, that's Bill Hinman. He's right on the floor with him. There he is. Look at him. He almost looks like a freaking mafia don, the way he's standing there all cocky and looking at this thing. He's looking at this whole thing like, I did this. That's what he looks like. He literally looks like that. See that right there?
The digital payments arm of Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba has offered to buy the U.S.-based MoneyGram for $880 million. MoneyGram has agreed, but the deal needs regulatory approval from the U.S. Committee on Foreign Investment. MoneyGram is the second largest provider of money transfer service in the world. Ant Financial has more than 630 million users. The CEO of Ant Financial says if the merger succeeds, it will bring people around the world greater access, security, and simplicity to remit funds.
The first high-profile Chinese deal blocked under Donald Trump. On Tuesday, a U.S. panel rejected the $1.2 billion sale of money transfer company MoneyGram to Ant Financial, owned by top execs of Chinese tech titan Alibaba. The panel cited worries over national security on data that may be used to identify U.S. citizens. The deal's collapse is a blow for Alibaba head Jack Ma, who aimed to expand Ant's reach abroad as competition gets fierce over payment services in China.
That's when the U.S. intelligence head was warning Jay Clayton about Chinese control over crypto.
MoneyGram owns about 5% of the global remittance market. How will this deal work?
Emily, it's great to be back. Thank you. The deal is a big step, I think, for Ripple, but it's even a bigger step for the overall industry. As you know well, there's been a lot of excitement around what blockchain and what digital assets and crypto can mean for the industry, and I think it's the reason why players like Facebook are diving in also. But we haven't yet seen much beyond experimentation, and really at Ripple, I think we are the market leader because we have matured aggressively and we're really solving real problems for real customers. MoneyGram is just the manifestation of that. It is the second largest global remittance company. We're able to have a big impact with one customer and one partner in this.
I thought it was interesting to show. Let's show Bill Hinman one more time against the backdrop of that.
Opens at 92.70.
Introduced myself earlier. I'm a kid from Kansas who, wears red, white, and blue on the 4th of July. The United States, look, I'm sure this is probably being streamed and recorded, but I'll do something I rarely do. Disclaimer. I rarely do this when I'm being recorded. The United States is fucked.
So, by the way, I forgot to credit Darren Moore Jr. Go on YouTube, Darren Moore Jr. That's Moore Jr. He found this Brad Garlinghouse clip, and also, I can't pull it up right during the video, but anyway, I'll show you him in the on Twitter in the next video. But anyway, go give him a subscribe. Old school. Now, I rolled over in bed in the middle of the night last night and I saw this. This was tweeted out from CoinMarketCap's from their Twitter feed. There is an imposter among us, and they have all of the different things, different digital assets listed. And then it says the answer, XRP for being controlled and governed by authorities, hence defeating the purpose of cryptocurrency. All the other coins in this are decentralized and are basically people's crypto. Well, apparently this person has not watched the video of Joseph Lubin helping to disguise whale purchases in the Ethereum ICO, because this person does not and could not know who the buyers were unless he was at the ICO, and he's one of the disguised whales. And if you call that decentralized, then you're a little confused. But that's not the real issue here. The real issue is this, and I said this because remember, Binance bought, they acquired CoinMarketCap back April 2nd, 2020. I said, hey, CZ Binance, he's the CEO. I said, I think crypto Twitter is owed an explanation by you on this. A deleted tweet is not enough. By the way, who exactly did you buy it from? Supposedly Brandon Ches was the creator of this, who was out of New York, okay? And this is a legitimate question. Did he have investors? I would love to know who was in that with him, if there were people in that with him. Who did Binance actually buy it from, and are those people still involved? That's what I want to know. And the reason I want to know is because of this that happened on January 9th of 2018. CoinMarketCap removes South Korean exchanges. Ripple market cap drops $20 billion. I think that was intentional, and these people should answer for it. Now, I don't necessarily think that CZ Binance is a guy. Look, you can have rogue employees, okay? That there is a thing. And this, used to, when I was growing up in business, we had there was a saying, and the saying should be permanently in business, but it's not. The saying was that the customer is always right. Well, unfortunately now, there are people at companies that think it's okay to bring their ideology to work, which is stupid and it's not good for the business. And we should have CEOs and businesses that stand up and say, you know what? You can have your religion, you can have your ideology, you can have all this stuff on your time. But if I'm paying you, you take that shit home with you, okay? You don't bring it into my workplace. That's the way I would run it. And excuse the French there. But our society has gotten so twisted and warped now that we think that these guys are supposed to bring their politics and their ideology to our business. A business should be completely neutral, as CZ Binance, to his credit, came in and said. So he's obviously no dummy. I asked, mistake by new joiner. Well, this is the wrong wording. This is a guy that needs to be fired. And I hope he did fire him, because this is someone who needs to go immediately. These are poisonous folks. All his managers know too now. Shouldn't happen again. Sorry about that. As platforms, not as platforms, as businesses, we should remain neutral to the extent possible. No, as businesses, if you're writing the paycheck, you should tell your employees, look, you want to bring your ideology and all your opinions to work? Well, you're not going to be getting a paycheck from me. You can go tell the world about your religious beliefs, your ideological beliefs, but you don't do it at someone's place of business who needs customers. Because when you start talking your ideology and your religion and all that stuff in someone's business, you're going to piss off half of the customers. And that can't be done in businesses. That kind of stuff has no place in businesses. Okay, so next, Stefan Huber, after all this, after he's commenting on the CoinMarketCap thing, after all this, the economic espionage, after the Ethereum free pass, after the lawsuit against Ripple and XRP, after all the FUD, the poor performance, it's still in the top 10, and CoinMarketCap has to run such an obvious campaign in the midst of all of this. And I said, interesting timing. Just today, the Alibaba topic came up, as well as CoinMarketCap slip up in 2018. That was before CZ Binance bought it, by the way. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that it looks like CZ Binance is trying to do right on this thing, so we should give him the benefit of the